Thank you, everyone. Andrea and all of our cantors in training, Cantor Lauren, Cantor Emma, Dr. Tali, Jeff, thank you so much for the beautiful music that you brought us, and thanks everybody for being here. It's so beautiful and spiritual and meaningful. I just returned from Israel. Last week in Jerusalem, I had lunch with a dear family friend named Eden and her wife, Orly. Eden was Jacqueline's student when she was in first grade nearly 27 years ago, and now Eden and Orly have a beautiful baby girl named Ariel. We met at a cafe in Jerusalem. Ariel sat in her stroller, alert, curious, radiant. It was one of those moments when you feel the arc of a life. A child you once knew, now grown, building a family of her own. Inevitably, the conversation turned to politics. Eden shared her frustration with the Israeli government, its handling of the war, the hostages, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. And Orly responded with a sigh and a familiar eye roll. They clearly had had this conversation before. And the tension rose a bit as they began to argue. And then their baby, Ariel, began to cry. She was hungry. Eden lifted her and began to nurse, and Orly reached across and put her arm around Eden's shoulder and gazed lovingly at their daughter. Then silence. It was a beautiful moment. A divide between them, it seemed, remained. It was real and unresolved, but their love was stronger. It didn't erase the disagreement, but it softened the conflict. Tonight, when the sun ultimately sets in about an hour or so, we will usher in the Hebrew month of Av. And it's the beginning of a period known as the 9 days, leading up to Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, which, according to our tradition, commemorates a whole host of terrible tragedies that our people has experienced, including the destruction of both temples and other tragedies. The rabbis, reflecting on all of this loss, found meaning in the destruction and concluded that it all happened not because of politics, not because of the Romans' rapacious quest for power, but rather because of us, because of sinat chinam, what is translated as baseless or senseless hatred, internal divisions. And once again, certainly not the only time since that moment, we are experiencing these painful divisions. In Israel, the disagreements are fierce, and I surely felt them while I was there with friends and family. Debates and arguments about the conduct of the war, when the hostages will ever be returned, our role and responsibility in the current humanitarian crisis unfolding in Gaza, the morality and competence of the current government, the very soul of Israeli democracy. And here, in our American Jewish community, even among us fiercely proud Zionists, there's a wide range of views. Some raise urgent moral concerns, others express unwavering solidarity, and many feel torn between justice, security, and compassion. These differences run deep, and they're real. So what do? There's a teaching that inspires me always at this time of the year, but especially right now in this moment, over 650 days into this terrible war. Rabbi Abraham Isaac Kook, the first Ashkenazi chief rabbi of pre-state Israel, before there was even a state, there was a chief rabbi. He taught, Ve'im necheravu al yedei sinat chinam, nashuv lihibanot al yedei ahavat chinam. In his massive and important work of theology and spirituality, Orot HaKodesh, he writes, if we were destroyed and the world with us because of senseless hatred, then we will be rebuilt and the world will be with us through senseless, unconditional love. Ahavat chinam. It's not a sentimental concept. It's actually a discipline. It's a spiritual practice. It's a way of staying in relationship with others even when we disagree with them. We've all seen what sinat chinam can do in our personal lives in this country right now, so deeply divided, our Jewish community. We know what it is capable of. We know what it can do to our souls and what it can do to our very people. And ahavat chinam, though, has the power to do the exact opposite. It can mend what is broken. It can rebuild and allow us to be rebuilt. Like that moment with Eden and Orly, they didn't resolve their disagreement. For all I know, they're up late in Tel Aviv right now having the same argument. But they held each other. They remembered what mattered most. They loved each other. So how do we cultivate ahavat chinam? We have to listen, not just so we can respond and make our argument, but to actually understand. Why do you think that? Why do you feel that? Why do you say that? Curiosity can soften judgment. We have to honor relationships over righteousness. Sometimes kindness is more urgent than being right, and I guess I would just amend that as I read what I wrote earlier. Always kindness is more urgent than being right. And when the divide feels too great, step back into love. A hand on a shoulder, a gentle touch, a word of blessing, a reminder, we are family after all. If the temple was destroyed because we couldn't bear our differences, maybe it can be rebuilt by learning to accept them with compassion, humility, and love. We won't fix everything. It's not possible to do that, but we can keep showing up. We can hold each other, and we can build something stronger than agreement. We can build connection. As we enter this month of Av, may it be a month of healing. May it be ultimately a month of hope, a month of love that can help us rebuild what hatred has destroyed. Shabbat Shalom and Chodesh Tov.